Notification, IREP60, phone team select, ready. Ready. Phone team selection, Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
The final home game of any college football season is cause for celebration. Senior Day, a perfect way to celebrate and remember all of the accomplishments of this group of leaders. Welcome everyone to the home of the Fighting Irish, South Bend, Indiana, beneath the Golden Dome and Notre Dame Stadium. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Penn State Nittany Lions, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up.
Entering play call screen.
Notre Dame looking for a strong kick to get this one underway. From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20.
There are 8 categories. You have bell options. Counter Y is selected.
This crowd trying to show them what it's going to be like all day in this house. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Creates a little room. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there.
Inside zone.
Quarterbacks love the short passing game early in games because it really helps them get into a rhythm. So a nice job by the offensive coordinator, giving his quarterback an easy throw, something he can see, and something that he knows he can complete.
They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Breaks into the open. That is just a gargantuan play as he has it all the way down to the 12.
Yeah, and that's not the start you wanted if you're on this defense. Like, you lost last week, looking to bounce back. One thing you can't do, man, give up explosive plays on the ground. This defense has to hunker in, dial in a little bit. Last week was a struggle. Let's get back on track.
FD run, QB run. HB direct snap.
The entire complexion of this possession changed on that one play. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 20. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Entering play call.
And man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. Hey, no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a ball.
The noise level is relentless here on 2nd down. They've got him looking run. Now they're going to throw it. He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State.
This guy is such a weapon for this offense, especially down in the red area, because of his speed and his size. He's a nice target right there on the post. You see him. It's just really hard to box him out and prevent him from catching the football. Good decision by the QB, and it results in a touchdown.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll bring it out. It's Payne. Slips through the line. Oh, what vision. There he goes. Open it up. He will score. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. No guts, no glory. Won it in the end zone. Didn't hesitate for a millisecond to take that thing back, and boy, did it pay off.
And this is why kickoff returns are so exciting. There's so much space between you and the other team flying down the field. The only time you're going to be provided that much space, and you can tell he knew what to do with that space. Kicked on the Jets by Felicia.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17.
Pass error 6 categories. You have 9. Play type error. Cons. Media smash error 13 categories. You have 30 options. Lock arrow is selected.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They took advantage of outstanding field position the last time they had it, and now they'll have a little more work to do to get on the board. With the catch, it's Saunders. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all off-season long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Spits it out to the back. Found the spot in the defense. They'll move the change after he gets it to the 43-yard line.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the first.
Now on 1st down from the 43-yard line. Looking downfield on 1st down. Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on 1st down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. They'll throw again after the incompletion. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Taking it the other way. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
And the defender makes a great read, breaks on the football, and makes the big interception in the back end. And here's the thing, that's number 4 this season, so he's finding the football consistently.
Wide receiver going in motion. Some early movement along the offensive line, and they'll walk it back.
Play call,
so the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
From a play type, error 6, cover 2 zone, cover 3 buzz catch.
Might be changing the route. Back to pass, it's Carr. Finds his man. Man, you got to get hats around this dude. He finds the crease. He's down to the 27.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
So now it's 2nd and long. Give to the running back. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
Cover 3 zone. There are 3 categories. You have 59 options. Cover 3 matches selected.
The Irish trying to keep this drive moving on 3rd and short. They'll run play action. Grab near the marker. It's Washington. Can't right cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. Not much of a secret who they were looking to, but doing something about it is a major problem.
It's so hard to stop on these 3rd downs. You think about it, he can block, and then he can go deep. He can release, intermediate. The tight ends are so valuable.
Scores on the sneak.
This offense is so good, man. They can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Fielded in the end zone. It's Smith. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20.
Categories you have cheat flood, YSAL, string flood, mesh drive, compact, mesh.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them.
Empty and slide.
Looking to throw. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
Fires to the middle. He's got an open man. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws, right in those holes, get those first downs, get those big chunks.
With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Wants to throw on first down. The short hands, it's Saunders. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Back to pass. Throws to the tight end. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
Short cross.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Fires into traffic, intercepted. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
You have 17 options. Temperature is selected.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. The early scripts have work trying to add to this 14-7 lead. The give to the tailback. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, second and 6.
And those body blows really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Dropping back, it's Carr. With the catch, it's Fleming. And he goes down right there, but a solid pickup, and it'll be a first down. We've come to the end of the period, and Notre Dame has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period.
Cover 2 man.
First play of the period, first down here.
Give cushion.
Gets the back moving. To the air on first down. Fires left. Makes a connection. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now. Having given up multiple first downs on this drive, somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop the game.
Notre Dame has it now, first and goal. They'll send the back in motion. Caught in the backfield. It's Young. Touchdown, Notre Dame! And they add 6 more to the board for that trip to the house.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Smith. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line.
Outside zone, there are 11 categories.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
He found a hole, got about 5, he's down to 21.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these third downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on second down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up third and long, and now you're set up to fail.
You want to talk about shaking down thunder from the sky. That's what they're doing here on third down. It's a draw. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
The quarterback and the offensive line really do a good job. What do? They sell pass first. Everything looks like pass. Nope, they hit you with a run. Really great job working together with a little bit of misdirection.
The Nittany Lions have it with a first and 10.
Right.
They want to run it left here. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Fires to the tight end. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to make the first down.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. He managed a few yards on that
and they forced the turnover. And he can fill up the hand now with that pick, man. That's number 5 on the season, consistently making plays for his defense. Always a guy where we're going to be calling his name over and over again.
Quarterback may change this route. Looking downfield, it's Carr. Fires downfield. Soft spot in the middle.
I love that play call. Quarterbacks are always licking their chops after their defense gets a takeaway because they know now, hey, I got a sudden change situation. I've got a chance to take a shot and pad my stats.
They'll snap it from the 30 on first down. It's complete to the left. Oh, he's got some space. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
Looking to throw on first down. He's got it on the run. And he'll run into the end zone. The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20.
Inside zone split. Inside zone.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll run it from the gun. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out the quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last 2 drives. The best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the run.
Rides to the back. And he was able to run through 1 tackle, but still only a modest gain.
And man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. He's looking to pass. And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense.
Categories. Cornerback, toe flip, some drops, flats, some drops, goal flats, option, man coverage. There are 2 categories. You have 31 options.
They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Looking to throw, it's Carr. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the 1st down.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football. And a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Grab near the sticks. It's Fleming. He goes out of bounds across the 25, marking at the 24 in this defense. His head is spinning. The offense down to the 25 now, 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
And you got to put that one on the receiver. That's just a flat-out drop. That's a good throw by the quarterback. That's a catch that receiver needs to make.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking to fire. And the pass is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hit.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
Notre Dame facing a 3rd and long, trying to keep this drive alive. Quarterback making adjustments. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Quick strike complete. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
6 categories.
They'd hope to be able to pick up enough after the catch, but a good stop leaves them with a 4th and short.
Really good job by the defense being physical, understanding the situation in the game. The ball's going to come out quick. You know that. Go make the tackle, force the 4th down.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, every game in CUSA is so very critical. How about this one today? Duke is ahead in this one, but unlike the days of Daniel Jones, this offense is not guaranteed to just keep scoring points today. They're up by 7 over Indiana. 2 fan bases with very different emotions in CUSA as we send it back to you.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half, we'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Running to Green. Finally forced out of bounds. Maybe a step shy of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself and slide. Great job, nice athleticism, good decision to take off scrambling and help his offense, but you really are seeing his inexperience shine through here in this game.
Looking to throw on 1st down. That's reeled in. It's Saunders. He snagged him, but he'll be stopped short of the 1st down. Good, solid pickup on that play. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime.
Wheel. Post.
Going to take a shot on 2nd and short. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it. The big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
Sluggo.
They're going to try to throw for it on 3rd down. That's caught. It's Saunders. Turning it on. He's down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a 1st down as they try to score one late in the half.
Double post. Pass shot. Pago slot cross. Empty and slot cross. Concept there from the coach suggestions. There are 8 categories. You have 15 options. Field goal 35 yards is selected.
So it's 1st down, but with just a few seconds, they'll try to put up a 3 before halftime. And he'll try to knock it through from the right hash and 35 yards out. Splits the uprights. It's good.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
So they get the late field goal right before the half and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. And he takes this from inside the 5. They make the stop, and that is the end of the 1st half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Entering play call, normal.
The Nittany Lions will kick it away to crank up the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line.
There are 6 categories. There are 2 zone, cover 2 zone, cover 3 zone, cover 3 hard flat.
Here come the Irish back on offense. Let's see if they can keep that first half momentum rolling. Keeping it on the ground to open the second half. Pass the sticks, and he may get more. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
Cover 3 doesn't catch.
They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Scanning the field, it's Carr. Finds us back in the middle.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
Notre Dame trying to keep this drive moving on second and short. From the gun to give, looking for room. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
Yeah, run the football. You're ahead. You can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
Quickly to the tight end. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover. Pick up the first.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field, the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Caught behind the line. It's Fleming. It's a seam wide open. Huge game before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it first and goal.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws, just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Hauls it in. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
The 8th play of the drive coming. You'd hate to settle for a field goal. It's 3rd and goal. Off the play fake. Looking to the end zone. And he'll sail it way too far for everybody.
And sometimes you see great shooters, and they get on fire, and they just can't miss. And that's what this QB looks like the last couple weeks, man. Just completion percentage through the roof, running the offense at an elite level. You can tell in complete control of this offense.
We have 7 options. 5, 4, do return left is selected.
Lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. He'll bring it out. It's Martin. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line.
Smash error 30, branch return.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They've got a long road ahead of them if they want to get back into this game, but they have to get to work on this drive. Looking downfield on first down. grabbed in the backfield. It's White. There he goes. He's out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Sometimes it's not about a fancy play design. It's about just getting him the ball and letting him play.
Especially nowadays with running backs being so good out of the backfield. You know they're going to catch it, and there's so many ways to use them. But exactly, get it to him, let him break tackles, let him make plays. Easy decision.
Still some work to do after that last completion at second down. Wants to go up top. Rushes on him. They get to him as he throws. Just about had another one picked off. They have been way too reckless with the football, throwing it away 3 times already. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions.
Post. Short cross.
Looking to throw on third. On target over the middle. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one after their own 37. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, he'll make those contested catches.
Sweet cut there. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Got a man, it's Gonzalez. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
The Nittany Lions are at the line looking to convert on third and short.
Sluggo.
He's going to look for a man on third and short. Makes the grab. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. Third and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, 3rd and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why.
Hits him inside the 20, still going. Turning on the Jets. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running, I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Short cross.
Takes a snap, wants to throw. He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they trim more off of that lead.
And it's more common to throw for the 2-point conversion than it is to run anymore. So you practice these a lot, you can tell. Nice timing, nice rhythm, in sync, nice 2-point conversion.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. From inside the 15, chance for a good return. Can they catch him? They won't get him. It's a touchdown.
I'll tell you, you're lucky if you're watching a college football game and you see one return for a touchdown. That's now his 2nd of the game. This guy is absolutely lethal. He's shown you his open field running ability. He's shown you his speed. I'll be shocked if anybody kicks his way the rest of this game and the rest of the season.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Interesting showdown in the back today, man. Take a look at how things are playing out. Toledo is trailing right now, but let's be honest. The program that turned out Bruce Gradkowski should never be counted out of any game. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Central Michigan. Any big developments here in the MAC, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Guys,
thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15.
Short cross.
Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back.
Play call.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty.
Keep is selected. Short cross.
Here's the snap, looking to throw. Makes the grab. It's Smith. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
Back to pass on second down. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Oh, that slithered right through his fingers and would have been his second interception of the game. Instead, it's fourth down. He just wanted to get it out of there from his end zone. He'll make the fair catch at the 44, and they'll have terrific field position.
Cover to zone. There are 3 categories. You have 17 options. Temperature is selected.
So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. Looking for a man. It's Carr. Under fire. Stands in and takes the hit. Reels it in on the side. Chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23. Now let's see if they can follow up that huge play. First and 10 from the 23. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the right. He caught it. Stopped at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a first and goal.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the third quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige when you've got the play.
Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. Excellent pass by the back on the option.
And this offense is clicking. Another touchdown. Didn't have to go far for this drive, but this offense is doing what they want, how they want, when they want.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17.
There are 2 categories. You have 4 options. Pause print HB flag is selected.
Snap of this drive will come from their own 17.
Short cross.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Who says defensive backs don't have hands? Nice job breaking on the football and making the catch. A lot of times you see guys swat it down or you see them trying to catch it. It looks like they have two left hands. Defensive backs don't catch real well. Nice job breaking on the football. Nice job securing the INT and actually catching it.
Pass.
This should be the last play of the quarter.
Spread.
They'll run it from the gun. And he finds no running room at all, and the third quarter is over. Maybe more open spaces coming in the fourth. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive fourth quarter comeback. They had a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on second down.
Spread.
Just a short pass to the tight end. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Notre Dame! They're now in really good shape to get back into the win column as they extend the lead here late.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long, or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? And the returner will be dragged down.
Outside zone. There are 11 categories. You have 17 options. HB stretches.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into the
inside.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10.
Right.
Motion from the wideout. From the gun, they'll try the middle. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
It's a reverse. And the defense was ready when the wide receiver got the ball.
You know, as an offense, oftentimes you try the reverse play because you're trying to take advantage of a defense over pursuing and by a lot of defensive team speed. Didn't work right there. Great discipline by this defense.
Punt is in the air. That's usually prime return position, but he'll make the fair catch just outside the 40.
Blitz, man blitz, CB bench blitz.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week. And
breaks into the open. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
Outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now late in the game, you got the lead. That first down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the dub.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops.
Intercepted, and now he's up to 14. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And that's just excellent coverage. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board, and you still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open, and if I'm the QB man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it into tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
Right.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. The option look. He'll pitch it. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6
Entering
coming.
play call. Red option.
Playing the option, man.
Red
Consistently
option.
playing responsibility football. Nice job by the defense being where they're supposed to be. This option will just keep giving it to you over and over and over again, and you got to pass those tests.
On the option. And the ball is free on the pitch.
Entering
When
play
you run the option, you run the risk of
call.
putting the ball in the deck, and especially once that thing starts to string out. The defense does a really good job playing assignment football. Man on a man. I got the quarterback taken care of, and you can tell. Had the running back taken care of, too. Nowhere to go with that pitch, and they forced the turnover.
Man blitz. There are 2 categories.
See if they can turn this drive into points. They've got it
Blitz
1st and 10 at the 50. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Looking to the big tight end. Got a man. It's Fleming.
Entering play
Really putting together a
blitz.
threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Smart move to keep it on the ground. Had to work to pick up 3 down to the 33-yard line.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get it done.
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion, because that hasn't happened often for this guy. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up? See if they can maybe confuse this QB.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. Dropping back, it's Carr. Quarterback now breaking the field. Got his man downfield. He's brought down the 1 to play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. Notre Dame ready to go back to work with another 1st down. They try to pop a run on the draw. He never had a chance on the draw, tackled almost as soon as he got the ball.
Inside, Siggy bench.
And they tried to sneak the draw in there, and the defense was not fooled.
You know, there's an art to selling the draw play, and that one was kind of more paint by numbers. Didn't turn out so well.
And the defense, you could tell, they weren't fooled. They were agreeing with your painting by numbers.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total. With that latest touchdown pass, it might be a good time to mention Brady Quinn threw 6 touchdown passes against BYU. That record might be in jeopardy.
And that's a good day. If you're starting to talk about that already, you know he's spinning it, he's in the zone, he's feeling it, reading the defense, everything coming out on target. He is having himself a day.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Coming out with it, it's Smith. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15.
Down, sweep.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. That fumble in Crust territory just ruined that last drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating when you got the offense moving a little bit and you put that thing on the deck, Jesse. But move on, reload, forget about it.
At the end of the day, it's just fundamental football, right? They practice it all week. 5 points of pressure. Every ball carrier has to have it. They just got to do a better job moving forward.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking for room. It's White. Got enough for the 1st. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
Cheat inside zone.
Let's see how successful they'll be on 1st and 10. Motion from the wide receiver. Out of the gun. The inside handoff to the running back. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 43.
That's a really nice game. It just would have been really nice to see this from this offense earlier. Now you're getting to the point where there's a couple of thought processes. Do I build momentum for next week? Do I try to get this offense, the ground game clicking, or do I throw the football every play and try to make this football game close.
And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. The Nittany Lions can really attack on this 2nd and short. From the gun, the ground game. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
This is an offense that prides himself on being physical, so you need 1 yard. Just hand it off to your back and let him go to work.
Power football with the run. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have it.
Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5.
The offense is trying to go with the trick play. They're dialing up the reverse, but the defense had great eye discipline. They tracked the football from the running back to the receiver, and they were able to rally to him and make a big tackle for a loss.
Short cross.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people are.
Oh, it's a phony punt. They're going to run it with the up man. Oh, he's got some space. And the gamble pays off as they pick up the first down.
They had the exact look they had practiced for and what they wanted. The up man gets the snap directly. He's able to use the speed, get the first down, and the chains are moving.
To the air on 1st down. Using his feet to buy time. Caught in the backfield, it's White. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
And this offense is going to have to find more explosive plays. And it can't just rely on the dink and dunk. It's going to have to find itself and score more points. Listen, they got beat up today. But moving on in the future, they've got some good pieces. They got to find a way to fit them together, create some explosive plays on this offense, because today they've been lacking.
This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable.
Post.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. He'll take a shot. And that'll be incomplete as the pass is knocked away, but there is a penalty flag down. Let's see who it's on. You can grab, but you can't hold on. The defensive holding penalty will give this offense a first down. 3 yards, first down for the offense after that penalty. Looking to throw on 1st down. Here he goes breaking the pocket. Trying to make magic with his feet. Didn't find much running room there. Picks up a few before he's forced out of bounds.
There are 8 key flood parallel categories. You have 22 options. Or only H pieces are selected.
After this, it'll be a wrap.
Wheel.
Lost to fire on 2nd down. And the ball falls to the ground, incomplete. The game is over, and that's just sort of how this one is gone. This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out, they take the figurative sledgehammer and hit them right between the eyes.
And they just look good in every phase of the game. If I'm on the coaching staff, I don't know what you could ask for your guys to do better. I think the challenge now for this team is going out next week and trying to play with the same type of intensity and the same level of execution.
Well, Jesse, it's easy to look good on the field when you look that good in your uni. Like when you look that good coming off the bus. Those dudes are good. This is a great team, and they proved it. Just domination from start to finish.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.